We are about to get started, and my name is Monique Monroe, founder of Business Prep. Tonight, we are talking all about LinkedIn. So, if you are someone who you have not updated your LinkedIn profile in a long time, or maybe you don't have a profile at all, this is a good place to start. Some quick facts about LinkedIn. About 154 million users use LinkedIn in the United States. It is an international app, it's used everywhere. About 91% of recruiters use LinkedIn when they are, excuse me, looking for candidates. And there are about 3 million jobs posted to LinkedIn every single month. So I know a lot of folks, when they think about LinkedIn, it's just about creating a profile, but applying to jobs on the platform is also a really good look as well. So this is what we're going to cover tonight. These are what I like to call the prerequisites. You want to accomplish these things before or while you are creating your profile to make sure it is a complete profile. Okay. All right. So the first one we're going to talk about, it's going to be keywords. And these are words related to employment, specifically when you're looking at job descriptions. That is where you will find keywords, and you want to put those keywords in your LinkedIn profile. And we will go to LinkedIn in a little while, and I'll show you guys where you can find keywords in their job descriptions. So keywords are really important. And number two, we're talking about resumes. So for my clients, I recommend using your resume to create your LinkedIn profile. Now, most resumes are the ones that you're submitting to jobs. Those are going to be chronological resumes. There are different types out there, such as federal and different things like that. But we're talking about chronological, meaning your most recent employment or experiences will be at the top of the page, and experiences that you had further back in time will be at the bottom or on the back of the page. Now, you want to make sure that you are transferring that information to your LinkedIn profile. But what's really great about LinkedIn is that you are not limited the way you are on your resume. So for my clients, I always say for each job that you're posting as your experience, no more than 5 bullets per job. You also do not want your resume to be more than 2 pages long. So right there, you're going to be limited to how much information you can share. On LinkedIn, you do not have that issue at all. You can add paragraphs, you can add bullets, you can add articles and pictures and links to maybe things that you accomplished while you were at that certain position. So again, your resume will be limited to 1 to 2 pages. LinkedIn, you do not have that issue at all. So it's really great. And some other tips for your resume, you want to make sure that it's pretty simple, right? You do not want to use bright colors such as red. You do not want to use font that is smaller than 10 or larger than, say, 16 for the verbiage. Sometimes your names and things like that will be larger. You, as I said, don't want it to be more than 2 pages long. And you also want to make it pretty simple, meaning that everything is horizontal on your resume, meaning from left to right. The reason being, it's going to go through something called an applicant tracking system, also known as ATS. This is going to scan your resume, and you really want to make that as easy as possible for the system, right? If you have lines that are vertical, going up and down, you have, badges or certifications or just different icons on there, you're just making it more difficult to read. So a simple black and white resume, left to right, horizontal lines will be very easy for ATS to read. Now, your URL customization. Now, this is very simple. At the top of your LinkedIn page, when you go to your profile, there is actually an option that says public profile and URL. So when you select that, it will take you to another page where you can change your URL. So if you don't update your URL, that second line there with the X, that is what your LinkedIn URL will look like. It will be your name, first name, last name, and then a whole bunch of letters and numbers, right? You want to change that to your actual name. If you have a common name, it might be a little bit more difficult. You might need to, add, some letters or numbers or things like that. But in summary, you just don't want it to look like you created a page and then never actually finished it, right? A customized URL looks so much more professional. All right, next we're talking about your headline. So this is really important because when a recruiter is scrolling through LinkedIn, um, there are only few things that you can see. It's going to be your name, your profile picture, and your headline. So your headline needs to be really amazing, okay? When it comes to your headline, it's going to be a brief description of who you are. And I like to think of it as your mini resume, right? It can hold, I think it's up to 200 characters now. And I also like to think of it as alphabet soup. Now, what this means is that all of your acronyms, your certifications, your accolades will fit or try to fit them into this space. So if you have your PMP, your Security Plus, your CISSP, your MBA, all of those alphabet or those acronyms, you want to fit that into that space, right? You also want to put job description or job titles that you've had in the past or that you would like to have in the future. And really try to fit as much information there as possible. Remember, we can only see your photo, your name, and your headline. So those three things, if you don't do anything else, those three things at least need to be amazing. Now you do want to have a complete profile. If a recruiter clicks on your profile and sees that it's empty, that's not going to help you. So make sure that your headline includes as much information about yourself as possible. Next, we're talking about connections. So this is actually, I like to think of this as, LinkedIn past, present, and future. The magic number you want to get to is 500. Okay. The reason being, the more connections you have, the better it looks when recruiters are doing their searches. You might actually rank higher. And it looks like you actually use the platform, not something, you created and you just forgot about it and you have, 5 connections. That doesn't look good, right? So you want to make sure that you are connecting with folks out there. You could always look at folks from your past. That's going to be your family, your friends, high school, college, etc. You want to connect with those people. Also, presently, your current boss or supervisor, your current coworkers, sororities, fraternities, organizations, hobbies. You can connect with all those people. And then your future, those are people you would like to work with or companies you would like to work for. That means connecting with recruiters who work for the companies you are interested in. And what's really great about connecting with recruiters is that many times they're going to post information about jobs and before, let's say, the rest of the world knows, right? So on LinkedIn, they might say, hey, we're looking for an IT specialist in Los Angeles. If you are someone is interested, have them reach out, right? Now that to me is amazing. Being able to reach out to someone directly on LinkedIn who is looking for a candidate to fill a position that they have open. That's amazing. So remember, you want to connect with people from your past, your present, and your future. And the way that it works, when you send someone a connection or they send you one, then that is actually how you become a connection. Before that, you're just a contact. And it's like first, second, and third cousins. It's the exact same thing on LinkedIn. First degree connections, and then second degree, it's someone that they know, and then third degree, and so on and so on. So you definitely want to work on connecting with as many people as possible. Reach out to them. Sometimes folks will add a message, and sometimes they don't. Sometimes they just say, just say connect, and people will accept, and sometimes they don't. But either way, it doesn't hurt to try. You want to get your numbers up, and you definitely want to speak to people who work for companies that you want to work for. Really, really important. We have some folks in the room, Cece and Dr. Shapur. Thank you guys for joining. All right, so next we're talking about your photo. So I have seen some crazy things on LinkedIn. It is definitely getting better, but I do have suggestions on things you don't want to do. You don't want to zoom in really like to your face. And I've seen this where your face is the entire photo. You don't want to zoom out so far that we can't see you. You don't want to use a group photo where you kind of crop yourself out, but you can see someone's hand on your shoulder, and you don't want to do that. You don't want to take pictures in your bathroom, in your car, just crazy things like that. And I'm only saying this because I have seen it, right? You need a plain white wall, a brick wall. It can be outside, indoors. You don't have to pay someone $500. A simple white photo like the one right here is perfect, right? That's a great photo. A nice suit, clean cut, great smile, right? I always recommend photos starting, let's say, from your elbow or your shoulder and above. That's about how much of yourself you want to be in the photo. And how do you dress like you are going to an interview, your first day on the job? You want to look like you already have the part. So remember, LinkedIn is literally your first impression to recruiters. They don't know you, they've never met you. All they can see, again, is your name, your photo, and your headline. Those three things, those two things, your photo and your headline, need to look amazing. And the same thing for interviews. If you have an in-person interview or a virtual interview, even if it's virtual, do not show up in your pajamas, okay? And again, I'm saying this, I've seen some crazy things, and just again, dress the part, dress like you already have the position. It does not hurt to maybe dress a little bit more formal than less formal, because I have seen, I actually sat in an interview with a young lady. This is for a Fortune 500 company, and she came in wearing jeans, sneakers, a baseball hat, looked like she was going to a game. She did not get the position, and her appearance was a part of the reason why she didn't get it. So remember, it does not hurt to go above and beyond sometimes. All right, and then now we're talking about summary. So this section of your LinkedIn profile actually has, it's like a blank space where you can kind of put in whatever you want. I like to include the power statement from your resume. That will go in the summary area. And then I'm going to include certifications, my core competencies, maybe some technical skills, and it will be organized. I'm actually going to show you guys this in a second, how I like to list my information in there. I'm not just going to throw, I have this cert and that cert. I'm actually going to, have it organized, look neat. I'll have my email address. If I have a clearance, I'll put that in there as well, ways that they can reach you. So definitely important. Don't leave a blank, but don't just throw some random information in there as well. All right. And lastly, we're talking about what you need physically. It's going to be a desktop, a laptop, or a tablet. This is for someone who has a lot of work to do, creating their profile, or maybe a lot of updates because you have not updated it in a while. Once your profile is complete, you can definitely make smaller updates on your phone. But if you have a lot of work to do, then you definitely want to make sure that you have a larger piece of equipment for all the cutting, copy, pasting, and typing that you have to do. You also want to look at having good internet service, Googling yourself, because most companies are going to, see what's out there on you anyway, so you might as well. And then lastly, job search websites. So you have Indeed, ZipRecruiter, Monster.com, Dice. There are so many. There are so many platforms out there. A majority of them are free, right? So once you create your LinkedIn profile, it does not hurt to copy and paste that information onto those other job websites, job search websites as well, right? Especially if it's free. I would say that about 98% of the recruiters that reach out to me find me on LinkedIn. I do get recruiters on dice.com, and I also get recruiters from Indeed. So those are options. You don't have to, use those other websites, but it's definitely there and it's definitely free. All right, so now we are going to go to LinkedIn, and I'm going to show you just really quick. I'm going to go from my profile top to bottom. Give me 1 second to share my screen, guys. All right, so you should be able to see my screen. All right, so I work in cyber. My photo back here in your cover photo is important as well. It should relate to what it is that you do. I work in IT, I work in cyber, so I have a picture of some numbers and computers. I like the photo. Probably needs to be updated. I have not updated it in a while, but I do like this photo. And then my headshot is over here. This right here is the headline that I mentioned before, right? You can have all of the acronyms. This is ISO is a job title. Security Plus, this is going to be a certification that I have. A secret clearance, NIST RMF, GovCloud EMAS. These are just some things, keywords that you would find in job descriptions that I included there. You have your location, that's also important. Now, this area here is the summary that I mentioned, right? I'm starting it off with my power statement, my email address, my clearance, and then I have my certifications, and then I have some core competencies and tools that I can use, that I have used for my job. So again, I'm not just throwing information in there, it's organized, right? And a lot of these right here are actually keywords, which is really important as well. Then you go down to your experience. And again, my experience is a lot. So it doesn't have to be, again, like 5 bullets the way you would do on your resume. On LinkedIn, it can be up to 10 bullets, paragraphs, a combination of both. Some folks like to have a general paragraph about the job title that they had, and then the bullet points underneath will be specific to what they accomplished while they were there. So you have lots of options, but remember, you're not limited the way you are on a resume. You're going to put in your education. You're going to list all of your certifications. The skills area is really important. You want to make sure that you have skills. The top 3 or top 5 skills are the most important. Those need to be related to the job that you're trying to get or going into. Remember, if you are transitioning from, I don't know, say nursing into IT, you don't want to have nursing skills at the top. You want to have your IT skills at the top. That's very, very important. All right. So what we're going to do now is look at some jobs and then try to find the keywords that are in there. So let's do IT specialist. And let's do New York City. And I want to see what was posted within the past 24 hours. All right, 37 jobs were posted. All right, so this one here was posted 13 hours ago, and over 100 people have applied. So that's a lot of people. They're telling you right here some of the skills, but we'll get there. Let's go ahead and scroll down. They're telling you about the job. Ability to obtain, you have to be able to obtain a secret clearance. You have to have your CompTIA A+ certification and 1 to 2 years of experience. So CompTIA A+, that's going to be a keyword. Secret clearance, that will be a keyword. Let's see what else they have. So this is tier 1. If you have tier 1 experience, you want to list that as a keyword. Make sure it's in your resume and on your profile. So again, high school diploma, they have all of the job requirements. The job requirements section of a resume usually has a lot of information right there. All right, so let's look for some skills. So let's see right here, CompTIA, computer repair, BMC Remedy ticketing. So Remedy is a ticketing system that I have used. You have help desk support, information technology, which is just IT, problem solving, root cause, software system engineering, ticketing systems, and troubleshooting. So if you are looking for help desk positions, these are all keywords that you would want to have in your resume and in your LinkedIn profile. So let's look at another position. All right. Let's see this one here. Or Leidos is a really good company. Let's check this one out. All right, so we're looking at Leidos. This one was posted. Oh, no, this is not IT specialist. This is something a little bit different. All right. Jobs and logistics. I just want IT specialist. All right, let's try this one here. All right, so I don't know this company, Valois Recruiting, but they're looking for an IT specialist. This position was posted 23 hours ago. 24 people have applied. They're telling you what the pay is. It's on-site, full-time, and entry level. All right, so let's look for some keywords. All right, IT manager, project management, interpersonal skills, good analytical, technical, and troubleshooting and problem-solving skills, good communication, documentation. All right. So let's look at some of the skills they have right here. So they only have two. All right, information technology and project management. Let's look at one more position. Service desk, okay. All right, let's see. This one was posted 7 hours ago. 7 people have applied. The pay is $25 an hour. It's on site. This one actually has the recruiter who posted the position available. So that's, again, this is why using LinkedIn is so great, because I would apply for the position and then contact the recruiter and let them know that I'm interested, right? This one is also an easy apply, which means once you click easy apply, it will use your LinkedIn profile as your resume. I always recommend still going on the website and applying, but that's just myself. If you don't have time to apply right now, you could always click save and come back to this later. All right, so this one here is for Mac and Windows OS. All right, let's see what they are looking for. A field engineer 3. So this one is not entry level, but this is typical desk side support technician, help desk, service desk, or script using standard methods, techniques, and tools. Let's see, resolve product support issues. All right, you're going to be including reloading and re-imaging PCs, laptops, and installing and optimizing hardware and software products. Okay, so they're going more into the responsibilities. So if you have experience optimizing or installing hardware and software, those are keywords. Re-imaging PCs and laptops, those are key. So these are things you want to include, again, in your resume and in your LinkedIn profile. You're going to be test and certify PCs, network servers, maintain a high degree of professionalism. So you can talk about that in your power statement, how professional you are. If you have experience with Windows and Mac, you want to include all that. With SLAs or service level agreements, again, read the job descriptions. They're telling you what you want. You need to put that in your resume if you have that experience. Don't lie and say that you do, because when it comes time for the interview and they ask you about SLAs and you don't know what those are, it's not going to be a good look. All right, so let's look at some of these words that they have. Airline ticketing, all right, event ticketing, help desk support, Mac, OS, operating system, service desk, service level, SLAs, ticketing systems, okay? So what you're going to notice as you look at many, many, many job descriptions, some of the keywords are going to be the same, ticketing systems, things like that. what you can do is always use the ticketing system that they reference and put that in your resume if you have experience. Like I have experience with Remedy, I would put Remedy and then ticketing system in my resume and on my LinkedIn profile, right? So they're telling you what they're looking for. You need to make yourself the best match as possible. Okay. All right. Let's see if there are any. All right. So I'm going to answer some questions. All right. Let's see what questions you guys have. I'm glad you're happy to be here. The market is awful. I know a lot of people are applying. And what's, in my opinion, a way that you can make yourself stand out. Sometimes there are, like, honestly, I know folks talk down about help desk and desktop support, but I did work that for a little while and I learned a lot. It's one way to get your foot in the door, and I highly recommend that, right? It's not cute, it's not sexy, it's not cybersecurity, but it will get your foot in the door. And then many times, what will happen is that, because people are always advancing, right? So this one company I worked for, this what was it, a system administrator moved on or to another company or got another position. They went to the help desk and said, is anyone interested in becoming a system administrator? Then they had another opening in information assurance. Would anyone like to transfer over to information assurance, right? So once you get your foot in the door, you can make all the opportunities, right? Make sure your certifications are up to date, that you're still learning, because many times those other roles will require other certifications, and those are things that you can be studying for while you're working, after work, whatever the case is. But if you're ready, then that looks great. Okay, you're ready. You want to be a system administrator. Do you have this experience or these certs? You do? Okay, great, right? You want to make yourself stand out. You can't just have CompTIA A+, you need to have other certs to go along with that, okay? Are there any questions? Yes, what options are you speaking of? Yes, you can definitely add awards, things like that. Yep, definitely. Yes, so you can add that, and I didn't go all the way down my page, but I also have a lot of my awards from the Air Force. Those are in there. If you volunteer, things like that, if you're in sororities or fraternities, like there's a lot more information that you can do. Also going through all the privacy checks. I don't have time to show you guys all of that right now, but that's definitely something you can do on your own time. So for example, my personal page is private, meaning the only way you can connect with me is if you know my email address, right? Some people, their page is public to, everyone, or maybe certain connection levels. So it just depends on what makes you the most comfortable. You can decide what your privacy level is and how much people can see. Definitely. Is there a way to filter on how many people applied? I don't, let me see. So I'll share the screen again real quick. Give me 1 second, guys. Because I don't believe that there is. Well, let's look together. So I filtered it by most recent, right? I'm not interested in something that was posted a month ago. You can filter it by experience level, by salary, by the companies that are listed. If you want a remote position, only easy apply if that's what you want to look at. And then these are all the filters over here: recent, date posted, experience, company, job type, has verifications, industry, job function, by title. So this one here, under 10 applicants, you can check that. Okay. So that's a great option if you're not looking for a job that 100 people or more have applied to, right? And if you notice, they actually stop at 100. There might have been more than 100 people that applied to a position, but they're just going to say 100. And actually, your connections is the same way. Once you get to 500 connections, it'll just say 500 plus. That's just how they do it. All right. Any other questions? Yes. That's right. We just looked at that. hmm Yep. All right, awesome. Well, I want to thank everyone for joining. This is going to be my last class for a little while. You're welcome, guys. I'm taking the month of August off. We will be back in maybe towards the end of September. We have a lot of business things going on, and I will have updates on LinkedIn. And I really hope that you guys enjoy the rest of the summer. If you have any questions, you can always email me. It's at LinkedIn at businessprep.com. But thank you guys so much for joining. I love a class where folks are really going back and forth. Olivia, what type of volunteer work would you recommend? It doesn't have to be related to um, your position, but hopefully there are some transferable skills like professionalism, being on time, problem solving. You want to make, even if it's not, IT or the job that you're applying for specifically related, there should be some transferable skills in there that you can highlight so that comes up for, on your profile as well. So yeah, you can definitely list. So when you look at the profile, it doesn't say work. I believe it says experience, right? So they're looking for your experience. If you're right out of college, you may not have work experience, but you may have experience in leadership, in management, in different things like that. So definitely highlight those experiences and show those, but also show that, you're working on your CompTIA or other certifications and things like that. I hope that answers your question, Olivia. All right, awesome, guys. Well, thank you again so much for joining. We'll see you guys sometime in September. I will post on meetup.com, also on Eventbrite and here on LinkedIn. So just stay posted. We have some great news coming. So yeah, really excited. And we'll see you guys in a few weeks. All right, so enjoy the rest of your summer. Stay cool, be safe, and yeah, be blessed. Bye, guys.